You weren't sedated for it?
Well, I was, but when I woke up, it was just like,
Okay.
just like mind-numbing pain, dude. Like, you just like, what is happening? You know, coming out of the surgery was like crazy. And then the dressing changes like on the raw nerves. So what they do first is they take your feet up at the ankles, and they do that to make sure that your body's going to respond well. Because if it doesn't, and they do it's called the formal amputation, they might have to move higher, you know, if there's a bad reaction or something. So they start at your ankles, check how you're doing. If it goes well, then they move into the next stage, which is the formal amputation here.
And that's below the knee?
Yeah, that's called a BKA, below knee amputation. So I'm a double BKA. The prosthetist told me, he's like, the higher up it is, he's like, the more energy that your body actually expends trying to like adjust to it. So he said, you know, this is best case scenario for an amputation, which is cool. You know, like in the hospital, I didn't know how I was gonna like deal with all of it mentally. You know, like I had the identity stuff, you know, like this wasn't supposed to happen to me. This isn't who I am. You know, the stages of grief, you know, what is it? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, you know. Yeah, I went through all that, like kind of before the surgery even, you know, in the denial, like this isn't gonna happen, the bargaining, like what can I do to maybe try to fix this? And then afterward I was angry, I was depressed, you know, and then finally like I just accepted, like, all right, so this is what happened, this is reality, and I'm gonna face reality, you know. So that's what I did. You know, I set my mind to it. Like I'm not gonna get into this negative downward spiral and, you know, be all woe is me, because like the bottom line is, if I didn't lose my feet, I would probably be dead. And that's the truth. You know, where my body was at the time was giving up totally. You know, my kidneys were failing. I had cirrhosis of the liver, which since I've gotten my hepatitis C cured, I took the medication. So I did that when I got home. I said, I'm not gonna be that guy, you know, who's just, you know, down on himself all the time. So I chose to see the positive in it. I'm alive. Yeah, I'm still here, man. You know, there's a lot of people that aren't, for, you know, much less than something like this. You know, yeah, so.
You think a lot of the people that you were with on the street that, you know, you were with whenever I first met you, have a lot of those people passed away?
Yeah. Just recently, my friend Bryce passed away a couple of months ago. I stayed with him here and there down in Kensington. Bailey just died a couple of weeks ago, the end of July. My best friend growing up, Jay, he's not from down there, but you know, I've known him since I was 4 years old. He just died at the end of July. Went to his memorial. His mom was a mess. And God bless her, dude. She lost her 2 other kids as well to overdoses. Jay, Patrick, and Matthew. They were my best friends growing up. You know, like I lived with them. I went on vacations with them, the whole deal. And they're all gone now from addiction. There was Nice, just died. Well, I don't know if he just died. I actually just found out, though, that he was either killed or overdosed. I'm not sure which, just I know that he passed away. Mike, I was the last person to hit him before he went to the hospital. So, you know, essentially the last person from Kensington that saw him alive. He died from sepsis, you know, blood infection. They couldn't get it under control and it killed him. Yeah, I mean, there's a list this long. I couldn't even tell you how many people. And that was even before Kensington. You know, when fentanyl came out, it was a massacre. It was a massacre, dude. We were losing 2 or 3 people every week because I was sober at the time. So I was sober in my life for 5 years at one point, 2 years right after that, a year and a half. And when I was sober during that time is also when fentanyl really hit, at least on the East Coast. And it destroyed us, man. You know, like I said, we were losing people 2 or 3 every week for, I don't know, 7 or 8 months before people like realize that they can't do it, you know, or they gotta drastically reduce their dose. Yeah, fentanyl is crazy strong, man. It's crazy strong. Yeah, during that time sober, I tried to help people in the area, like around here as best as I could. I was like a pillar of sobriety in the community, you know. And during that time is also when I became a CO. Yeah.
At a county or state prison?
State prison. Yeah, I worked at SCI Dallas.
Is that medium security?
Yeah, it's medium security. Doesn't really mean much. It's more open. You know, there's more contact between inmates and guards and stuff, but, you know, it's really all the same from what I understand.
I knew that you were sober prior to Kensington, but I didn't know that you had that straight-laced of an employment path.
Yeah. Yeah, it
That's
was
the opposite of being on the streets.
quite the opposite. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it kind of gives me a unique perspective in a way. I guess, it's considered law enforcement,
Yeah.
at one point, and then going into, living homeless on the streets for years was like this like crazy like juxtaposition, that I was like dealing with mentally. And, I had relapsed while I was working at the prison. So I was about a year and a half sober. My grandmother passed away, and I had become complacent in my sobriety. So I wasn't going to meetings, I wasn't doing commitments like speaking at rehabs and stuff. I wasn't calling my sponsor, I wasn't working the steps. And that eventually caught up to me. I started hanging out with, people I shouldn't, hanging out in bars. I wasn't even doing anything, I was just going there just to hang out and be in the environment. Risky behavior if you're sober, wouldn't advise,
Right.
But yeah, I was doing that, and eventually it caught up to me. My grandmother passed away, and that was kind of like a catalyst, that was what solidified it. And I
So
can't.
you're using as a coping mechanism to deal with the grief.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I picked up, I did some drugs, and I liked it, and nothing bad happened. The whole world didn't come crashing down around me. There weren't any police lights or sirens, and I was cool. I was like, all right, nice, I remember thinking, like, this is why I did this every day, because, drugs feel good. That's the lie, though. They feel good at first, but they take everything. But yeah, no. So I relapsed while working at the jail. So I was doing dope before I went in. I didn't bring anything into the jail, so I didn't get high there. I didn't bring stuff in for the inmates, but some of them did. They knew. They knew that I was getting high. A couple of them asked me like Rodney, you got to be on something, man. Like, we know you're doing something. Like, mind your business. Eventually, even my coworkers started to catch on, because not doing anything for that long, fentanyl doesn't last very long in your body, at least as far as the effects go. So I would start to get sick relatively quickly compared to how heroin is.
Dope sick from withdrawal.
Yeah, dope sick from withdrawal while on chip.
So you'd be throwing up in the bathroom.
Throwing up, sweating,
Yeah.
Generally miserable all the time. And I would hide my stuff off property, just because in case anyone did get suspicious, they can search your vehicle if you work there, So I would hide my stuff off the property, get out of jail, off shift, and go and do my stuff right down the street from the jail. And man, I felt like the biggest hypocrite in the world.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Especially because so many people in county and state prisons are there for drug-related
Oh my God.
offenses.
Yeah, I'm looking this dude in the face, and he's in there for, a possession and paraphernalia for the third time. And I got 2 bundles of dope hidden down the road underneath a patch of grass. It's like, man, what am I doing here? And instead of bringing clarity from that, I think it almost compounded it more, because then I felt guilty about what I was doing, so I wanted to cover it more, so my habit increased even more so. It got to the point where I was shooting 15 bags of fentanyl per shot, 3 times a day. Do it before work, as soon as I got out, and then sometime during the night, just doing like $200 in dope a day, just myself. That's when Brittany caught up with me. She had relapsed and asked me if I could get her anything.
So just to clarify, you and Brittany were together when you were a CO, when you lived around here.
So we were friends. We were friends in sobriety for 4 years before we ever even, started dating, which was cool. She actually tried to help me during one of my first relapses. When I relapsed after 5 years, she called me and was like, "What are you doing, dude? You're gonna die, this and that." And she tried to save me. And I did get sober right after that. But we can cover that. But so I started selling drugs to her. I was meeting her in my uniform, selling dope. Craziness, man. And then eventually it all caught up to me. I was staying at my grandmother's house. I had moved out from, I was living in Wilkes-Barre. I moved down. I told her what was going on. She said, "Come home, maybe I can help you." She had tried to do that before. So I took Suboxone 8 hours after I'd done my last shot, which is fine with heroin, but it's not fine with fentanyl. It reacts in your system differently, and I went into something called precipitated withdrawal. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's essentially withdrawal condensed into 6 hours instead of 5 days. Absolutely vicious. Puking, diarrhea, shivers, shakes, convulsions, sweating, cramps, just everything that can happen at once happening at once and amplified. Like withdrawal in itself is terrible, but condense that into a couple of hours is like, what's even happening? So that's what happens if you take Suboxone too soon after fentanyl. So yeah, I'm laying on the bathroom floor naked. My grandma comes in, she's like, what the hell is going on? I told her, they called my parents, it was a whole thing, and that's when I decided, like, you know what, all right, I've had enough of this, like, because that was the whole point of taking the sub was, I had a long weekend, and I was like, I'm tired of doing this, I'm gonna get clean. So, I took the Suboxone with good intentions in mind, but it didn't work out that way. So I realized later that night that I had insurance. And I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna go to rehab. So I decided to go to rehab, walked out a couple of days later, AMA'd. And shortly after that, I caught a charge. Britt and I had started going down to Philadelphia to cop. And I went down one night by myself and I parked in a parking lot and did drugs all night. And on my way home, a cop lit me up for speeding. It's ironic because I was speeding. I was doing a bunch of coke and I was out of my mind. Yeah. And I decided I'm gonna run, so he was a state trooper. Yeah, so I ran. He caught up to me right away. The initial plan was to, try to disappear before he could get me. He was parked, I was going fast.
And in your head, you're like, I got this.
I got this. Yeah. So he caught up to me in like 10 seconds, Yeah. Let me grab a cigarette. Yeah, he caught up to me in like 10 seconds, dude. And I'm like, all right, plan B. So plan B was run down to Shikshini. You guys probably came through there. And when you first come into the town from Route 11, there's a road off to the right, this windy road, very narrow. And I knew it like the back of my hand. So I'm like, all right, so here's the plan. I'm gonna go down Route 11, be going fast, so he thinks I'm just gonna run straight through. Slam on the brakes, cut the turn. He's gonna go past me, I'm gonna go up the road and disappear. Perfect. So I'm doing 125 down Route 11 the whole way. It's like 10 miles, I'm swerving around cars, crossing lanes, and I get into Shikshini, and it worked, right? So I hit the brakes, cut the turn, he hits his brakes and slides past me, so he's gotta turn around and do the whole thing. So I'm going up the road, I'm like, yeah, I made it. I get to the top, and there's a giant oak tree in the road with 2 concrete barriers in front of it. Yeah, so I was stuck. And I thought about getting out and running, but honestly, I was too spun out. So I was like, you know what, fine, I'm caught. He comes up the road. I had already gotten out and put my hands on my head. He came over and kicked me in the head. He was pissed. Yeah, he kicked me in the head, cuffed me, and they saw my duty belt in the back seat, which is like your work belt that you wear for the jail. Holds your radio, your pepper spray and stuff. So they're like, what's with the duty belt? You a cop? What up? Like, what's up? I was like, no, I'm the CO. They're like, where? So I don't really want to tell you. They're like, we're gonna make one call and find out anyway, dude. Where do you work? So I told them Dallas, and they gave me the, what the hell are you doing, man? Because they were stadies too. So there's like a sort of camaraderie.
Right. Yeah. Same field of employment.
Yeah.
Co-workers, kind of.
Yeah.
In a far-flung way.
In a way, they catch them, we keep them. I just told them, like, I relapsed a while ago, and I've been getting high the whole time. That was probably about a year into getting high. That was May of 2020 that happened. And I had been going back and forth to Kensington before that for a couple of months, copping. And, I got arrested. I bonded out with my motorcycle. I had thrown my drugs out on the street. I ran down, got those on my bike as soon as I got home, and then everything blew up, It went into the papers and, it spread around. So at that point, I was really kind of giving up on the idea of being a CO anymore. Just the whole weight of everything was getting to me. I just didn't really know how to exit. It was probably more of a self-implosion, I guess you could say. I don't know how to put it.
There's probably some embarrassment, too, that came from having your name in the paper. Of course. CO caught with drugs, caught like in a high-speed chase is pretty good. Pretty good news for the tabloids.
Yeah, and in a small town like this, that was definitely big news. So I'm at home. A couple of days later, I get a call, and it's from the jail. I knew the call was coming. They're like, we need you to meet us here and take a drug test. I'm like, I can't, my car's impounded. They're like, all right, well, we'll get you. So they came and picked me up. Went, gave them a drug test. They called me back in a couple of days later, went to the jail, and they gave me an ultimatum, go to rehab or get fired. So the union is strong in Pennsylvania with COs. So, you know, those guys have that going for them. So the union was backing me up. If I went to rehab and completed, I'd be on a year of probation at the jail. Where, you know, they have a set of rules. They can drug test you anytime, search you anytime, whatever. And I went to the prison, or rather, I went to the rehab and walked out like 4 days later. And I knew what I was leaving behind when I did it.
You just weren't feeling it? You didn't like the structure of it?
It wasn't even anything, because all rehabs are pretty much the same. I was just like, I didn't want to be clean. And just the whole stress of everything was like just driving me crazy, you know? And at that time I was on, actually I was on FMLA from the jail, Family Medical Leave Act. And it gives you time off, paid time off without pay for, you know, medical emergencies, whatever. So I walked out of the jail, came back to my parents here, got my car and went right to Kensington and got shit. I stole money off my mom so I could go cop. I was looking for my grandma's pills and I found her jewelry and I started selling her jewelry. So I took all of her jewelry, which was really shitty, you know. It was a bad move.
The jewelry that my dad had gotten me since I was younger and I had lost my dad.
It was 18 karat stuff. So you can't really get that in the U.S. even. I mean, you can, I guess, but it's more common overseas. Generally.
So he took it. He took it all of it, and it was a dilemma. You know, of course, I was crying, and you know, they're like, you know, call the police, and you know, you don't want to call the police. You don't, you know, that wasn't my thing, and they're like, he's not going to get better if you don't do something. So then we called the police, and it ended up being almost like $33,000 worth of jewelry he took.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then shortly after that, there was like a big blow up with my family. I was not welcome back here. So it's like, all right, you know what, fine. Like, going to, I got a place I can go, you know, which was Kensington. So I went down there, me and Britt went down. We stayed in my car for a while. I mean, it was what it was for a while. We were staying on a block, and then one night I got into a fight with some people. They jumped us, me specifically, but they punched Britt. She pepper sprayed him. We jumped in my car. I tried to run the dude over. He jumped out of the way, and I popped my tire. And when we got back to the place where I parked, you know, that was essentially the end of my car. I don't think I ever moved it again from that point. I had a flat tire, no money to get a new one. I already had a donut on another wheel, and the neighbors got tired of us being there. So I woke up one morning with my car on fire. Someone had set it on fire while we were asleep. They lit my headrest on fire, so I woke up and there were like flames around my head. So I woke Britt up, told her the car's on fire, get out, and I went to try to pat it out with my hands. I wasn't thinking, you know what I mean? Foam is melted plastic,
right,
man. It stuck to my hands instantly, 2nd and 3rd degree burns over both my hands. You know, I like went into shock, called the ambulance. I went to Temple. I was in the burn unit for a couple of days, walked out AMA. I mean, that's like a resounding motif in my life, is leaving rehab or the hospital after a couple of days, you know.
I mean, detox rehab. 20 years of my life has been
I'm
pretty
35,
much
so I started using drugs when I was 14.
So yeah, no, I'm going to say about 18, because I really didn't know about this stuff from the beginning.
Yeah. You know something I was kind of curious about? I don't know if I ever asked you, but like, when I started like using drugs, did you guys like have any idea?
No clue. None. You were just a brat.
I've been to over 25 rehabs, probably close to as many hospital stays, you know, and I leave every time. I would have left this last time, honestly. I wanted to, but I couldn't. I just want to make a side note. So I wrote a book about all this. So I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's all right.
We'll put it in the description box and the pinned comment of this video.
That would be cool.
If people want to buy it.
Yeah, it's not out yet, but it should be probably by the time this comes out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's going to be an ebook, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So I'll put it on Amazon. Yeah. But you know, I cover all this stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it all caught up to me.
If he wouldn't have lost his legs, we would have lost him. There was just no, really, as I sit here right now, there's no way he would have made it. There's just no way. I know it. I see it. I saw it in his wounds. I saw it in his face, his hands, his legs. I just saw it in him that there was just no way. His body was done.
Yeah, like I was diagnosed with cirrhosis.
Stage 4, yeah.
Yeah, I had Hep C, which I've, taken the meds for that. So I'm cured of that now. And I've been sober since February 16th, I think. When I finally got out of the hospital, they said if I was strong enough to leave, I could go home. So they did the test if I could like transfer myself. I was able to. So my mom called my dad, asked if I could come home. She said yeah. So before we left, I went down to Kensington to see Britt and to get high one more time before I left. It was like kind of something I had to do, like mentally, just to like, I don't know, I guess put some closure on it.
Right.
So I did that. We came back here, and since I got home, I've been doing really well. I'm really proud of myself for that, actually. This is the longest that I've been sober in 7 years. I don't know, 8 or 9 months. Honestly, I'm not really counting the days this time because I was expecting to die. So, being able to wake up here and, so we'll play this game. We call it Anybody Tell You, right? And the goal is to get that you say anybody tell you to that person the first time that
means
day.
I love you.
It means anybody tell you I love you today. And we play it every day. And it's nice.
Yeah, and him and Jim, it's like it'll be 1 second after midnight and they're both yelling at each other.
Yeah, we'll try to sneak up on each other. Yeah.
It's just the thing that they do. And our thing, and my always thing with him was whenever we were getting ready to hang up on the phone, and I love you lots and lots.
Lots and lots.
And my biggest thing was what?
Don't get dead.
Don't get dead. That's verbatim, that was it, I love you lots and lots, and don't get dead. And he's like, I won't, Mom,
Never give up.
Tell JCE I'm calling him on Discord right now.
Come on. I'm doing one warm up, then I'm gonna call him.
No, fuck that!
One warm up.
Bro, lead the game! Yo, bro. JC, stop yapping and let's get into this shit, nigga. Stop, bro. Like, all you doing is talking and yapping. Let's get into the game. All right, tone.
Yo,
do this.
Bro, and by the way, bro, you better not use Hog 2.6, bro. That's not.
Hey, bro, it don't matter what I use, bro. It don't matter what I use. Come on.
All right, in speed. Listen, if I get to 90 wins, okay?
God,
if I get to 90 wins, I have a professional coach that will help you coach the last 10 games, okay? He'll coach you for the last 10 games, okay? And if you lose, you have to get the Hog Rider haircut, bro.
What?
Yes, I did it. I did it like a year ago.
Oh, hell no. What is you talking about?
Ask your chat, bro. Ask your chat. You need a haircut, dude. You've had the same hair for too long.
Okay, what if I win?
Okay, you can pick any haircut and I'll get it, bro. Even if it's the worst haircut ever, you can pick. Because I don't give a fuck how I look.
Hey, see, exactly. You don't care, so I want to do something that you do care. Okay, all right, but if I win, you got to get the R9.
You said, wait, what did you say?
If I win, you get the, you got to get the R9. Look up.
You want me to look like this?
Yeah, I want you to get the R9 haircut. All right, come on, bro. Come on. Let's start the wave.
All right, okay, but if I win, you got to get the Hog Rider haircut. And you're not going to scam.
I won't scam.
You won't scam.
Wait, time out. I would cut out my sides. I would bald my sides and get the R9 haircut. No, wait, time out. See my look. Don't get hyped. I said that I will cut my sides. I will bald my sides. I will bald my sides.
Wait, so you're gonna get the hog rider haircut?
Yes, that's the hog rider. I'm gonna bald my taper. I'm gonna get the hog rider. That's the hog rider.
Wait, am I getting scammed, chap?
You're not getting scammed. I'm balding my fade to get the hog rider.
They're saying scam, bro.
That's not scam. Wait.
You gotta pull up the hog rider and look.
Bro,
exactly
that's the hog.
like,
Bro, I know what the hog rider is. Bro.
I sent you the 1v1 battle and your friends. Just get used to accepting this, bro, because you're not
Where's
gonna
that
win
at?
a single battle.
Say I might beat him first match. First match, I'm gonna beat him.
So you haven't played in 3 years, right?
Shut
3
up,
years?
shut up. Just watch me.
All right, hog 2.6. Yeah. Okay. So you went for the prediction log there. That's interesting, bro. Okay. Good ice golem to distract.
Chase ass.
Dude, I'm using a beatdown deck, so I'm gonna be losing at the start of the game, but then I'm gonna win. Oh, the dragon! The dragon! The dragon!
Like, relax, bro.
I could have lightning. You have no idea what I'm using, bro. Good game, Speed. Good game, bro. You have no elixir. Yo, bro, the first thing you're gonna learn is you're gonna want to save onto that elixir, buddy. Watch your tower get bent over a table right now. Instantly save onto that elixir, buddy. Save on. Chad, I did not piss myself. This is water. Let's go. Let's go. Good start. Good start. Bye-bye, Musketeer. See, bro, this isn't gonna be easy, bro. You have this impression that it's gonna be easy. That boulder just did a lot of damage. Bowling!
Chad, it ain't over with it. It ain't over with.
Alright. Okay, focus. Focus. See that? That's the evolution, bro. And that too. Go! Yes!
What? Bro, what the fuck is going on right now? Oh, time out. Hold on, wait, time out. That was my warm-up game. I ain't playing years. Hey, I didn't play years.
Dude, first thing you gotta stop going for predictions, bro. I'm a pro, bro. You're not gonna be able to pull a fast one on me, bro. Okay, let's go. Good luck, bro. The game is way too loud. Shall we turn out game after this? Wait, I don't have good stuff. Whoa, I don't have anything. Bro, what is my deck?
Chad, W real.
Wait, the cam's messed up. How about I fix the cam?
What you doing? You gotta kill it. Yeah, I gotta do this tomorrow. I'm too locked in right now.
Good luck, bro.
Good luck.
See, I don't even know what you drafted, bro. Hold up. Oh, I gotta try hard now. Over? Mega Knight! You know what this card is, Speed? You know what this card is? Bag! Oh, wait, what? Wait. No. No!
Fuck, bro. Fuck! I fucked up my placement.
Go.
Fucking God.
Yes. Bend him over. Yes! Yes!
I keep fucking up my placement.
Focus. We can still lose, bro, remember. Okay. Yes! Give me it. How did that miss? Oh, lucky. Oh, nice Inferno Tower Speed. Wow. Go.
Oh my fucking God, dog. How?
Yes. See, I like triple grab, bro.
Why RuneScape's useless party hats cost more than a car? Some people would go, what? Over this? And I go, just a car? We got skins in CS that cost more than a house. Just a car, mud? Come on, at least we're talking hopefully a Koenigsegg. Chad, who played old school RuneScape before? Type 1, bro. Me, myself, and I never played. And low-key, I'm happy about it because even nowadays, I see people addicted to playing this game even in 2025. Putting things aside, putting work aside. Oh, I'm gonna grind some RuneScape. This shit is an addiction right here, no? Can't have any of that. I'm addicted to this shit. Yeah, check. All right, here we go.
This paper crown is
Mods change title on YouTube and on Twitch, please. And just chatting.
completely useless, but cost $6,000 US and was $42,000 a few years ago.
Alright, that's actually crazy.
This is the story of RuneScape's party hats and how they went from holiday trash to the most coveted items in the game. Our story starts in October of 2001. RuneScape's co-founders and Jagex owners, the Gower brothers, wanted to do something special to celebrate Halloween. They decided that on October 31st, they would scatter pumpkins all across the game world. Andrew Gower could also be found in Falador dropping pumpkins at random during this time. Players who found them could pick them up, trade them with their friends, and even eat them. Most players chose to eat the pumpkins as they would heal 14 hit points, 2 more than lobsters, which were fairly expensive at the time. However, many players ignored the pumpkins, dropped them a few days after Halloween, or just slowly ate all of them. With bank space limited to just 48 items, few players bothered to hold on to any. Both the players and the Gowers had no idea that pumpkins would one day be worth $140 each. Pumpkins were RuneScape's first ever limited time drop. After October 31st, pumpkins would never be spawned again. So, as RuneScape took off,
Shit. I like that, bro. Seasonal events in Counter-Strike, I low-key miss it. When was the last time we had a real Halloween update? Scheiße.
in popularity, their price would seemingly go nowhere but up. But for now, they were virtually worthless, even considered junk by some. Regardless, players were happy with the event. It was a fun, festive way to celebrate Halloween in RuneScape. So for Christmas, Jagex decided to do another limited time drop. On Christmas,
If that black party hat is real, by the way, I low-key want one, bro. That looks crazy, bro. Black gotta be the most expensive.
time drop. On Christmas Eve, when players logged in, they'd be greeted with rainbow flashing text that said Merry Christmas. And all around them on the floor were a new item called Christmas crackers. Players who picked them up could use them on another player to crack them open. One player would receive a random item, while the other would receive a party hat, which they would promptly throw in the garbage. At the time, party hats were worthless junk. You really wanted to be the player that got the random item out of the cracker because it could be anything from coal to the valuable rune plate body. Party hats provide—
They have cases? No. Guys. Bro, when there's a game that has cases, I mean, this sounds really, really fucked up, but we played TF2 one time, a whole day, opening cases. Are you telling me that RuneScape has cases? Neuron activation? No. But yes. Do they have that? No, they don't. So this party cracker thing was a one-time thing? Like, you get a random drop, you can get a max win, blah, blah, blah. Scheiße. Check.
No benefit to your character when worn, and again, with bank space being so limited, nobody wanted to waste 6 slots on silly paper hats. As you know, those players would be making a huge mistake, but they wouldn't know it for a while. Sort of like how you don't know about Watcher of Realms, a next-gen fantasy RPG available on mobile and PC. So, let's talk about it.
I hate when they jump scare you with the ad, bro, when it's like, and then they do the smoothest transition ever, bro. I was too locked in on the party hats, bro. Come on, Mud. Like, what is this?
Obliterate your enemies. Watcher of Realms actually has over 200 heroes to summon, breathtaking visuals, and 360-degree real-time combat where you control—
No. You can't be showing the cinematic-ass Elden Ring type thing, and then it's this, bro. What is this, bro?
the battlefield. You can also test your skills in thrilling game modes, challenge powerful bosses in PvE, or join a guild and engage in intense
I still can't believe, bro, one of the funniest things that bro, chat, we all know Raid Shadow Legends, right? This game, like, people say, oh, this guy sold out, he's doing a Raid Shadow Legends ad, right? Like, this game, right? Bro, I remember Jesus was streaming Raid Shadow Legends, and yeah, he took the sponsor, sure, right? Like, he took the money, but he actually himself played that shit in his free time, bro. And he was like, during the ad segment of like Raid Shadow Legends, when he was playing it on stream for like 2 hours, he was saying like, so guys, so now you have to do this, and this is the auction house, this is how you do this, bro. He was like explaining like he was living for that shit, bro. Like, bro, that's the actual, like, he was grinding Raid Shadow Legends, bro. And he was like so happy to do the sponsor, bro. He was like, guys, please, like, this is actually a good game. Look at this, bro. Jesus, bro.
The Christmas event was another success, and the Gower brothers wanted to continue the trend of dropping limited time items on holidays. On March 31st, 2002, they would drop Easter eggs to celebrate, well, the 2-year anniversary of The Matrix, of course. This time, more players held on to them than previous drops because the bank could now hold 96 items.
Wow.
Or 144 if you paid for membership. Like pumpkins, they weren't entirely useless, as they healed 11 hit points.
Wait, membership? So you can play for free as well, chat? It's not pay to play like World of Warcraft? Because I remember when I was young, bro, there were a lot of MMORPGs, bro. You had to play monthly, but I never did. Like, it was just, you couldn't, like, it's like a monthly bill. That's unheard of, bro, for a game. Oh, hell no. You buy a game, $40, and you play it, like, for a year. Suck. World of Warcraft, never considered it. Was never on the thing. Free to play, drop party method to bond. If you know, you know. I don't know what you're talking about. Free to play is ass, though. Doesn't sound that bad, though. He said, what? 100 storage unit compared to 150? That's not that bad.
And who would say no to free food when you have so much space for it? On October 31st, 2002, Jagex would drop 3 different colored Halloween masks to celebrate the holiday. This event was functionally the same as previous ones, but players' attitudes towards it were very different.
That's nice.
By now, most of the player base had realized that old holiday items wouldn't be re-releasing, since pumpkins didn't return for Halloween. So they would hoard these new masks in hopes of getting rich off.
First time I see this item, that and party hat we all have seen before somewhere, right? That probably means that this is worth jack shit. This was the time. This is like fucking major stickers. At some point, all the stickers made money, right? Like Stockholm, and then the next event was chopped because everybody invested, everybody kept it. I have a question, chat. Party hats, I'm sorry, items in RuneScape. Can you delete them? Yeah, right. If you drop them on the floor, nobody picks them up. Poof. Correct? AK supply gone. Check. So all the party hats back in the day, people just Didn't want to store them. Check.
Of them in the future. Over the last few months, party hats and Christmas crackers had risen in value by a fair amount. Generally, they were all selling for around 100,000 to 200,000 gold. Unlike pumpkins and Easter eggs, party hats were a wearable sign of wealth that could be shown off.
They look so sick.
There was a fair amount of demand for them, especially since the player base had grown a lot since their release. There were thousands of players who weren't playing when party hats released that now wanted them. Now, Jagex didn't like that holiday events had turned into a time of hoarding wealth. So, on December 25th, 2002, along with dropping Santa hats for Christmas, they would ask players to be generous with them. If you manage to get more than one, then please consider giving them to your friends as Christmas presents. Of course, you can sell them, but that's not really the spirit of Christmas. As you might have expected, players didn't listen. The only thing rarer than a limited time holiday item was a player willing to give one out for free. Jagex knew they needed to make a change to how these drops work.
Bro, I would have given away so many. Not because I'm nice. I mean, I am, but I mean, I don't know. But like, if they say, please be nice, give these away. Like, bro, I would think like, oh, I get this rare special item if I like actually give someone something. You know, bro. If they call out for that, I would feel like, okay, now I'm getting the rare skin if I give him the hat. Bro, low key, like I would have been so mad if they didn't, if I did that. It didn't give me jack shit.
On April 20th, 2003, Jagex would drop bunny ears all over RuneScape. The smell of money was in the air, and players logged in excited to stock up on an item that would surely make them rich in a few years.
That looks trash.
They'd pick up their first pair, but when they went to pick up a second, they'd receive a message in their chat box. You don't need another set of bunny ears. You only have one head. Not only had Jagex limited—
Bro, imagine that in Counter-Strike terms. You don't need another gold. You already have one, bro. Nah. That's crazy, bro.
Each player to only owning one pair of ears, they were also untradeable, meaning they were impossible to buy and sell. Although this would lead to some complaints, it solved the problem of players hoarding the items and still let them have a bit of fun. On October 31st, 2003, the holiday drops would continue with the Scythe, an item that you could once again only own one of and not trade. But this time, there were a lot more complaints. Scythes were dropped at times when most of the United States was still asleep. Since they couldn't be traded, that meant most players had missed out on Scythes forever. But Andrew Gower, for the first time ever, gave in to the complaints and would drop Scythes.
Yo, mods. We're watching a RuneScape video, bro. Yo, what is being linked, bro?
Is all of her clips, all of her top clips right now are about this Oni Pixel person. Who is Oni Pixel?
Please don't be us edging a trader right now. That would be a bad look.
Oh. Oh, what the
Oh no, yapping about butterflies. Wait, you're the wrong person to ask. Load. Sorry.
Counter-Strike guy? He opens cases.
What? This is getting ridiculous, bro.
Spends shitloads on unboxing.
Yo, alright, bro. Yo.
Again on November 2nd at
hell
more
no.
US friendly times.
Why you make me look like I gamble every stream? Like, hello. Yeah, we did some trade ups, but like a whole year I did nothing. Like no cases, no, because you do know I don't, bro. Like right now it's a special phase. We had this big update, and of course, like we have to explore the update. This is my job. And the trade up thing, it's new. We gotta explore it for a bit, and then we're done. And then I'm not gonna do no more trade ups, right? I mean, oh god. All right, here we go.
In the background, past holiday items had continued to rise.
Who's maxed in OSRS Type 1? Chat, is being maxed because I've heard about it. Like, there's people, I sometimes see it, like, people like, I just got 99 in everything. 99 in fishing, 99 in Riz, 99 in wood chucking, 99 in blah, 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 blah. Everything imaginable, bro. In beekeeping, who is maxed? There's like 20 different skills. It takes a long time. Some skills take ages in order to max out, I've heard, right? Like, you need to do AFK farming all day. Bam, 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 chopping trees until level 99. It's completely chopped. Is it aura to be maxed? Or is it like everybody is maxed nowadays? Like max level in WoW? Because max level in WoW, come on, mud, that's nothing. But maxed out OSRS? Cracked or no? Max is rare? Wow. There's no exploits or something? Like, everybody maxed at some point and they didn't revert it, bam. Like, it's actually still rare. It's big aura. Wow. That's crazy that they kept it rare across all these years, no? Because we're talking, what? He referenced 2002. Oh, do they reset the levels, guys? Because if you play since 2002, why is your ass not maxed? I'm maxed in Clash Royale. Okay, I also play some money, but if I would have free to play it every day, like, boom, you're maxed. It's a forever game? Fast. Never reset? How's not everyone maxed yet? How many hours does it take to max an account? Real question, real talk. I have 10k hours in CS. What are we talking in OSRS to max? 5k hours. That's actually insane. And that's you focusing on getting max, no? Like doing nothing else. Like no quests. Nah.
At an astounding pace. Christmas?
Bro, I played CS all my life and I have like 9k hours. And most of it is AFK probably. Oda block is maxed. I mean, he better be maxed. It's like the OSRS guy, no? Damn.
Christmas crackers were now worth
Loki, I want to buy a max account. You said it out? Probably not.
a shocking 20 million gold.
I'm joking.
And party hats sold for 4 to 18 million, depending on the color. Every other And party hats sold for 4 to 18 million, depending on the color. Every other
thought it was supply. Jesus.
Rare item was still less than 1 million, though, as they either couldn't be worn and shown off.
I actually want to see this. Which color is the rarest?
Christmas crackers were now worth a shocking 20 million gold, and party hats sold for.
Party hats still cheaper, even though older, because party like the crackers had value, I guess. Like you could get an item, a useful one. This is just visual. 5 million for gold? What? Why is gold the cheapest? Gold looks expensive, no? Chat, are some rarer than others, or did they all drop in the same way and same odds? And then people just deleted them because they didn't like them, blah, 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 blah. Like, purple rarest. But is purple rarest because people decided to delete it back in the day when it was worth nothing, and that's why it's rare? Like, are they all the same odds to get? Should they all be the same supply back in the day? Question mark. Yes? Check, check. White is boss. Dude, white and black. Like, sheesh. 8 mil for green. Why is yellow so cheap? 18 mil for purple. Yeah, because Twitch, right? 13 mil for blue. Check. Yeah, blue is probably the most, like, this is what the party hat is, I feel like. You know, the blue one?
4 to 18 million, depending on the color. Every other rare item was still less than 1 million, though, as they either couldn't be worn and shown off, or had been hoarded. Party hats were seemingly going nowhere but up, but they were about to lose all of their value. In November of 2003, a player named 6 Feet Under was attempting to find a way to trade scythes using a RuneScape cheating program called AutoRune. Ultimately, he was unsuccessful, but in the process, accidentally discovered a glitch that would allow him to make just about any item in the game out of thin air as many times as he wanted. He shared this glitch with a few friends, and just hours later, they had created and dropped thousands of Christmas crackers and party hats.
What the fuck?
Jagex was furious and banned the accounts of everyone involved, and
why didn't they make hella bank off of that? Bro, are they some YouTubers like, this is how I crashed the pay-to-win server OSRS? What is this, bro? Why did they just try to fuck up the economy, bro? Come on, make your bank and keep the economy safe.
Attempted to remove any cheated in items from the game, but a lot of them slipped through the cracks. Overnight, party hats and Christmas crackers would plummet in value to near worthless. Whoa. When the dust settled a few days later, they bounced back to around 2 to 6 million GP each, but the glitch had changed their rarity forever. The purple party hat was previously the—
At that point, you're scared the looks, bro. There could be a guy out there that has like one stash, right? Like one dupe stash. Why do I say dupe stash? Oh god, I sound like a knower, bro. But I'm invested in like, not invested, but I played a lot like Minecraft, Hypixel, Pit. And there's people selling dupes on Hypixel for fucking crazy money. Like what? Like tens of thousands of dollars in order to dupe items, because some items are worth thousands, including Skyblock and stuff. And Hypixel, Skyblock, you have like this community that are trying to find new dupes. And they sell for crazy money, bro. And sometimes, you know, Hypixel bans some accounts, but they always have like one hidden dupe accounts with like god tier items that they can at some point just like release to the market. Suck. Why does he know? Yo, bro. I was a lot in Hypixel Pit community, and it's a very sus community, bro. We have people ratting each other out, making them. It's like one guy, hey, use my cheat client. You're allowed to cheat in Hypixel Pit, kinda. It's like the street code. It's like PvP type Minecraft, and there's some really rare items. Like, really rare, like flammable times 10. As an example, that's not exactly, you have like lightning, blah, 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 blah. There's some items that are worth like 5k. Don't ask me why I know. Check username Eric Lamont. And then again, some of these items, bro, they're getting duped the fuck out, and then they fucking threaten each other like, yo, you give me this item, else I fucking... You know what I mean, bro?
The most expensive party hat, as it had the lowest pull rate from Christmas crackers. But because the glitchers created so many, it was now the most common party hat, and would be the least expensive one for about the next 2 decades. Instead, the second rarest party hat you could get from crackers, the blue party hat, would now be the most valuable. This is the party hat I'll be putting my main focus on the rest of the video, as I think its price is the most interesting. Other rare items were largely unaffected by this glitch, as glitchers really only went for the most valuable items. However, Andrew's festive mood had been soured, likely due to the duplication glitch and all the complaints Jagex would get every time they would do a holiday drop. On December 22nd, 2003, he announced that there wasn't going to be a drop on Christmas that year. Instead, the team would focus their efforts on the soon-to-be-released RuneScape 2. In the background, Party Hat...
I thought he punished them. Like, hey, you do this duping shit, bro? No Christmas update, boys. No Christmas present for you guys. Never mind, they were cooking up RuneScape 2. Like CS2. I hope it wasn't aware like CS2. Aware. Nah, guys, come on. Now, looking back at it, bro. Counter-Strike 2, CSGO.
Would slowly begin to rise again. Most of them recovered to their pre-glitch values by March of 2004, but would crash again when RuneScape 2 launched. The game had tons of new content to do, much of which required gold, so players had less of an interest in useless collectibles. But by the fall of 2004, they would begin climbing in price again. This is when a group of merchants would band together to try and influence prices to climb even higher. Merchants are basically players who would buy an item at a lower price from a player and sell it to someone else at a higher price. Merchants, well, good merchants, were and still are some of the wealthiest players in the game. By buying up a ton of party hats and a bit of social engineering, they were able to
So like cash traders in CS, no? Buy low, sell high?
increase the price of each party hat by a few million gold. It wasn't a huge success, but proved that market manipulation like this was possible and would lead to more attempts in the future. By December of 2004, the prices of Christmas crackers and most party hats would finally recover to their pre-glitch values. But this was short-lived. They would all crash again due to something merchants nicknamed the trust drop. After their first successful merge, they had continued to manipulate the market and believed that prices fell because they had manipulated it too much. Rares had become too valuable and would spend the next few months declining to correct. On the bright side, Jagex would begin giving out holiday items again, but this time they were not only untradeable, but they would be available for 2 weeks instead of 1 day. That way, if you were stuck at family
I love
gatherings,
this game's art style, bro. Like, this shit is so, like, unique and recognizable. No, look at this shit, bro.
1 day. That way, if you were stuck at
That's
family
clean.
gatherings or church all day on Christmas, you wouldn't miss out. In mid-2005, the price of rare items would absolutely explode upwards. In just 1 month, the Christmas cracker jumped in price from 25 million gold to 85 million,
What?
while the blue party hat would jump from 30 to 75. Players attributed this huge jump to a few things. First,
They got money for Christmas.
was the recent release of the Barrows minigame. Barrows introduced 24 new pieces of armor into the game, all of which were going for incredibly high prices the first few weeks. Perhaps the players who got lucky early on
Gold, gold, gold. Chad, when you open a chest like this, is it random? Asking for a friend. That's a chest right there. Yeah? Whoa, 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 whoa. And you can get like a rare sword or what? After you kill a boss? Oh my god. 1 in 16 for an item?
traded in their loot for a party hat. Slayer had also been released earlier in 2005, and players were now reaching the later levels, which would unlock new monsters with valuable drops. All at the same time, merchants were also trying to manipulate the price of party hats again. However, I think the most important factor is actually inflation. Just like real life, RuneScape's economy also has inflation. The price of 1 million gold in 2003 on underground markets was around $8 to $10, and by 2005 had lowered to about $5 to $7. More people were playing the game than ever, and as a result, gold was entering the game much faster than previous years. years. Combine all these factors, and it absolutely makes sense why prices skyrocketed. They would drop quickly in the coming weeks, but they still settled for much higher than before. Around this time, something kinda odd would happen. For the first time, a party hat would be consistently worth more than the Christmas cracker, the blue party hat. This is because it was both one of the most desirable colors and, like I mentioned earlier, the second rarest one to get.
That's